Hello. So, welcome to this episode. In this episode, we're going to learn the beginning of how to use the verb to have in German. I started recording this episode and then I realized it's a little tricky because the point is, in order to make sentences, longer, complex sentences with haben, something like, I have a beautiful mother, there is several steps that are connected to that. And that is a little bit too much for one short audio episode, I realized. If you really want to do it step by step. Let's go first over what does haben mean in German. There's a slight meaning difference. Haben means really to possess something or to have it at your disposal. There is a second meaning in English, which means to consume something, like I have milk every day, or she had coffee and he had tea. That means he drank coffee and she drank tea. That meaning does not exist in German. Haben means really the more literal thing. So, obviously, in English, maybe the first thing you think of if you say to have, it means you own something or you have it for you to use. You can say, I have an apartment in the city, no matter if you actually own it or rent it. Or you can say, I have a wife. Then obviously you're not owning the wife, not she belongs you, not you own her, but something that shows a connection. You could have that, yes. Or I have a question. Ich habe eine Frage, yes. But there is one meaning in English that does not exist in German, which means to drink or eat something. Like, I have breakfast. No, you cannot say that. Not with haben, anyway. Actually, to have breakfast means frühstücken. Frühstück is breakfast, and it's kind of like breakfasting. Or to have coffee. Now you would have to say, ich trinke Kaffee, or you could say, I take coffee, but you cannot say have coffee to drink coffee. That is something we should know. Okay, good. So he has coffee doesn't mean that he's drinking coffee. It really means that he owns coffee or he has it in his hands or something like that. Hat Kaffee. Good. So if you want to say things like, I have the book, but also in German, but you could say I have a book or I have books and so on. But let's go into the actual start of this, and this is how to say the word to haben. To have, so I'll say it, you repeat it. To have, haben. I have, ich habe. Ich habe. You have, du hast. Du hast. He has, hat. Hat. She has, sie hat. Sie hat. It has, es hat. Es hat. We have, wir haben. Wir haben. You have, talking to more than one person. Ihr habt. Ihr habt. They have. Sie haben. Sie haben. That's the basic forms. Now we're going to look at a few examples. And for these example sentences, I'm using, just to make it not too difficult for the beginning, plural words. So, I have apples. Ich habe Äpfel. You have chairs. Du hast Stühle. She has cats. Sie hat Katzen. We have tables. Wir haben Tische. You have windows. You, more than one person. Ihr habt Fenster. They have cars. Sie haben Autos. All right, now we're going to make a few different sentences. What you can also use, you don't need an article for that at all. Use something that is a substance or that could not be counted. Something like air or love or milk or water. Words like that. In English we call them uncountable. In German we can call them unzählbar, and we can make sentences with those. So, I have air. Ich habe Luft. Fun fact, ich habe Luft in German can mean quite literally I have air, but it can also mean that you have some time for something. Like, let's get together next week. I have some time left. You could say, so, treffen wir uns nächste Woche. That's kind of like, let's meet next week. Da habe ich Luft. Literally, it means I have air there or then. So, Luft haben can also mean that. Back to our examples. He has milk. Er hat Milch. These are also sentences that you could be saying. And now I'm going to give you one more type for this episode because I don't want to make it too long. And that is quite simple. And that is if you're using der, die, or das. There's just one change. So you're speaking that you have a specific thing. That would only make sense if you had already talked before it. But if you would say, I have the cat, like everybody has been looking for the cat, and you say, I have the cat, then you say, ich habe die Katze. The cat, die Katze, ich habe die Katze. Or, he has the book. The book, das Buch. Er hat das Buch. Good. Then, there's one more that we know. For example, let's take der Stuhl, the chair. That would be der Stuhl. And in this sentence with haben and with many, many other verbs, this becomes, in this case, den. So, if you want to say, I have the chair, you say, ich habe den Stuhl. Okay? So it's fairly easy, actually. You don't do a lot of changing here. Just der becomes den. All right. Let's make more examples. I'm going to do them with translation, okay? She has the table. She has the table. Sie hat den Tisch. We have the car. Wir haben das Auto. They have the dog. Sie haben den Hund. Okay, a few more. I have the book. Ich habe das Buch. You have the pen. Du hast den Kugelschreiber. Or du hast den Stift. Kugelschreiber is actually the pen. In this case, I know pen is such a small word and Kugelschreiber is a big word. In German, we have a quick break here. So if you're new here, Better German is a podcast and it's a learning ecosystem. We have courses, group sessions, one-on-one resources, everything you actually need to speak German, not just study it. And if you're wondering where you fit in, do you actually know what your real German level is? Not what certificate you have, not what you think, but where you actually stand today. I've built a short placement test that tells you exactly that. And here's the difference. I personally look at every result and I'll send you a real answer. Not an automated email. Me actually looking at your German. It's at bettergerman.info/test and it's also in the show notes. Takes about 10 minutes. back to the episode. Tendency of making words by describing them. Sometimes this can become long, and if you're new to the language, it can appear that it's complicated. But actually, once you have learned the base vocabulary, it's actually relatively simple because there is many examples where words are just describing the object. So Kugelschreiber means ball writer. It is something that writes using a ball. So in English, there is a word, it's a ballpoint pen. So that's what it is. There's so many words like that. Vorhang, the curtain. Vorhang. It's just the hanging in front. Vor means in front, and hang is something that hangs. So, in front hang, something like that. So there is like thousands of words that are super descriptive. And if you know the parts, then you know the whole word. Okay. So I was actually saying the sentence, I think, du hast den Kugelschreiber. You have the ballpoint pen or the pen. Let's do a few more simple ones. She has the lamp. Sie hat die Lampe. We have the bottle. Wir haben die Flasche. He has the key. Er hat den Schlüssel. The key is der Schlüssel. He has the key. Er hat den Schlüssel. All right. I'm going to make another episode. There will probably be many episodes where I can refer to this one. So there will be other episodes where we will looking at how do we use the same thing now with In German, there is some changes here. The other thing I'm telling you is what is the next episode about. So our next episode will be words about the breakfast. We've had a recent restaurant episode and you seem to have liked it. So we're going to make an episode about words about the breakfast. So when you're in Vienna or somewhere in Germany or Switzerland and you're on holidays and you want to eat breakfast or have breakfast, in English I can say that. That's, by the way, one of the reasons why I have a tendency to say eat breakfast instead of have breakfast, because in German it doesn't work like that. Anyway, so, and you want to have breakfast, then you obviously need to have some words. So we're going to go over what are the things you can usually find on a breakfast buffet and also what are the words for them and things that you might want to be able to say to order coffee or tea or whatever you might need. This is going to be the next episode, episode 63. Tune in then. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is I'm publishing more podcast episodes now. So please do let me know what rhythm would be best for you. Do you want one episode a week, or would you like to have 2 episodes a week? Or even 3, what would be the thing that you would prefer? And please, if you like the podcast and if you want me to produce more episodes, leave me a rating, give me a 5-star rating, give me a review, and you can always write to me at podcast@bettergerman.info. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Before you go, if you've been listening for a while and you're thinking, okay, I actually want to do something about my German, here is where to start. Go to bettergerman.info/test and take the placement test. It's short, it's free, and I'll personally look at what you sent me and tell you exactly where you stand and what makes sense for you next. Maybe that's one of my courses. Maybe it's something else entirely. I'll tell you honestly. Better German isn't just a podcast. It's a whole learning ecosystem. Courses, group sessions, one-on-one lessons, mini resources, but all starts with you knowing where you actually stand. And if you're enjoying the podcast, share it with someone who's trying to learn German. That's the best thing you can do for me and maybe for them too. The link is in the show notes, and see you in the next episode.